In 2001, Comair pilots needed to know whether we could stand together, and we needed to know if our national union leadership would stand with us.
1,133 eligible voters. 1,096 pilots voted. 6 pilots voted for the agreement. 1,090 pilots voted against the agreement.
So we really were united. But now it was time to get back to the bargaining table, and it was time for management to get real.
Comair and its pilots have been in these contract talks for almost 3 years' time now, but today those talks broke off without an agreement and way short of the actual deadline, which means that instead of negotiating at this hour, Dwayne Worth is available to talk to us. Captain Worth is president of the Airline Pilots Association, which represents Comair pilots. Captain Worth, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
What is the plan on your part to get back together? Is there any contingency?
Well, I'm still in Washington, where the National Mediation Board was conducting negotiations along with the Comair Pilots negotiating team. So where we're supposed to be. Comair management chose at a little after noon today to go home to Cincinnati. So I'm here. I'm going to stay here till midnight, and I wish management was here to negotiate with us.
I've got to ask you a basic question. Since Patty Davis mentioned this has been going on for 3 years now, why is it taking so long?
What's taking so long, at the heart of it is Comair still wants to believe it's a regional airline, although we all know it's a major airline. It has $1 billion worth of revenue. You saw all the photographs were all jet flying. They fly long-range, sophisticated jets. They fly them to Canada, Mexico, and the Caribbean. They're international pilots. Yet they're trying to compensate them with compensation that would be more appropriate to small turboprop airplanes that serve small communities only, and that's simply not the case with Comair.
Well, for the longest time, of course, that was the way into the industry for young pilots, those smaller planes, those shorter routes, and so that would help explain some of the pay discrepancies between a younger pilot and somebody as experienced as yourself.
Well, that might have been true 7 or 8 years ago, but Comair is no longer, again, a small airline flying small equipment. When they made the shift, and Delta through Comair wasn't the only one, to go to the so-called regional jet, and there's nothing regional about it unless you conclude the region is the Western Hemisphere.
Hands off the floor.
I don't understand either. Sophisticated airplanes, they replaced aircraft or the DC-9 or the 737. They do the same mission, they go to the same cities, and we need compensation, pay, and benefits that are appropriate for the aircraft. I started this industry nearly 25 years ago flying similar equipment and made more money, had a better retirement 25 years ago than these pilots do today, and we just simply aren't going to tolerate it any longer.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes! It's going to be a while yet. We're grateful for you taking time to fill us in. Captain Dwayne Worth of the Airline Pilots Association. Thank you. We're looking forward to the release this week.
Back it up. Can we hear that one more time?
Yes, the clock was ticking. But Dwayne Worth and Alpa were standing with us. We had tried to find a better agreement, but our management had walked away long before the deadline. Now, it was our turn to walk.
Moving in silent desperation, keeping an eye on the Holy Land, a hypothetical destination.
Hey Lisa, how do you feel?
Well, I feel determined to hang tough and do whatever it takes to get the contract that we deserve and need. And I'm proud too to be a part of the Comair family and the way we all stick together and support each other.
Bridges awful burning, so don't you let that yearning pass you by.
The Delta pilots had their own fight to fight as they walked the sidewalk next to us.
The walking man walks, while any other man stops and talks. But the walking man walks.
Hey Todd, how are you feeling today?
Feeling great today. Ready for the long haul.
Well, the frost is on the pumpkin, and the hay is in the
And the long haul it has been. We walked for 89 days in 2001 in Orlando, Cincinnati, Dallas, and Atlanta, and we will never forget the support of our ALPA brothers and sisters, our families, our flight attendants, retirees, and our communities.
Any other man stops and talks, but the walking man walks on by.
5 years later, we had to put on our walking shoes again. In late 2006, Delta dragged us into a sham bankruptcy to take away what we had fought so hard to earn. Informational picketing and family awareness were the tools we used to defy management. In Atlanta, others walked in support of us. Here in Memphis, we were joined by a dozen other pilot groups in support of our friends at Pinnacle.
Kissing his existence goodnight.
Well, Dwayne Worth was there too, and he had just the right words to keep us all motivated.
Union is not something you hire, it's something you are. Thank you very much.
Any other man stops and talks.
Guys,
Phil,
what's it like? What's going on in Memphis?
wonderful.
Anything interesting?
Everybody's unified, getting together. We're going to raise some hell across the country.
Wonderful.
They mess with one airline, they mess with all of us.
Well, the frost is on.
Rod Tarter, our family awareness chairman, always had good observations. Well, it was our turn to walk the walk in front of the bankruptcy court in Manhattan.
And the walking man walks. He doesn't know nothing.
What is the reason that we're walking a picket line in front of the bankruptcy court here in Manhattan?
Delta Airlines, doing business as Comair, is seeking to abrogate our working agreement. We believe that we need an agreement that the pilots can ratify, and at this time Delta Airlines is overreaching to take from us what is deemed by us way more than is required.
After walking, we got to head upstairs to personally witness the courtroom proceedings.
Something is never quite right. Ah, but who
Found out a few things.
Yes?
Our management doesn't have any idea what kind of position the company's in, whether we're making money or not, or who's running anything. But we do know that it's not about making money, it's about making more money.
Yes. Yes, indeed. And
Is your business profitable? I don't know, we haven't added it up yet for 05.
and tall.
We really don't know whether the ground operation of Comair is making any money. This was the CEO.
Because there's not a separate financial statement,
And
ironically.
the president, who's a CPA, really can't comment whether they are. They really have no idea. That is amazing.
There's not a separate financial statement.
I've got to go take a shower when I get back for all the crap that's covered all over me from out of their mouth.
Say, who is this walking man? Well, the leaves have come to turn in, and the goose has gone to fly.
We will not be taken below just because of a bankruptcy. We understand that that's going to cost us something, but we are not willing to go down to the bottom of the industry just for a bankruptcy. Now,
Well, any other man stops and talks, but the walking man walks.
Over the years, we've learned the power of family support. We call it family awareness. And the support of our brothers and sisters of other airlines. We decided to take a little walk, a stroll, into the terminal. We were supported by pilots from 6 other airlines, and even a flight attendant, just to go in to greet Captain Worth as he flew in to meet us.
But the walking man walks on by, walk on by. Most everybody got seed to sow.
Welcome to Captain Worth. Pilots, hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray!
just call up my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running. Oh, yes,
Dwayne Worth was in his final days as ALPA president. He had absolutely no idea that we would be there for him. And it's kind of ironic. 5 years before, we didn't know if he would be there for us. If ALPA history teaches us nothing else, it's that our union's president is but one man. Each has had his individual strengths and weaknesses. But the true strength of our union comes from the line pilots, standing together, walking together, and looking out for each other. Just look at the faces of our passengers.
Your soul if you let them. Oh yeah, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running. Well, the leaves have come to turn in, and the goose has gone to fly, and bridges are for burning, so don't you let that yearning pass you by. Walking man, the walking man walks, well, any other man stops and talks, but the walking man walks. Well, the frost is on the pumpkin, and the hay is in the barn, yeah. And happy's come.
It's taken courage to defy management, to walk the walk. But we're standing on the shoulders of those who came before. As ALPA historian George Hopkins said, every airline pilot working today owes a substantial debt to those who came before, men whose names they do not know, who sweated and fought to make ALPA what it is today, sometimes at a great personal cost.
Most everybody got seed to sow. It ain't always easy for a weed to grow. No, no, so he don't hold the rope for no one.
President Worth, what was your impression as you came to Cincinnati?
It was fantastic. Walked out of the airport, right out of the jetway, and saw all those Comair pilots, plus pilots from other airlines, ready to come to this picket line and support Comair pilots. It was fantastic. And we're definitely going to win this struggle with Delta and Comair.
Thank you so much. Our message is unity. One union standing together. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you for being here.
Well, any other man stops and talks, but not the walking man.
Are modern airline pilots made of the same stuff as the men who created ALPA during the era of wooden wings? History is waiting for its answer.